Respected Maulana, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. The time is now 8:37 and we'll begin our program this evening. Tonight marks the second Majalis of this weekend's series as we continue to commemorate the remembrance of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his companions. Our program tonight will be comprised of So, Salam and Marcia, recited by Brother Zishan Jafri and Brother Sajjad Zaidi. This will then be followed by tonight's lecture, led by Hujjatul Islam, Syed Hadi Yasin, and we will conclude with Noha and Ziyarat. Before we begin our program, if I can kindly request you all to please take a moment, double check your cell phones to ensure that they are muted or at least on vibrate. At this time, we will go ahead and begin our program. I will request Zishan Uncle to grace us with soz. Please recite a loud salawat.
باری دیگر صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد جل فرج عابد سے یہ وطن میں کسی نے کیا کلام عابد سے یہ وطن میں کسی نے کیا کلام گزرے ہے زیادہ تم پہ قلق کہاں اے ایمان گزرے ہے زیادہ تم پہ قلق کہاں اے ایمان حضرت نے 3 بار کہا شام 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 سرننگ میرا کنبہ تھا اور گرد خاص و عام سرننگ میرا کنبہ تھا اور گرد خاص و عام بیووں کا نام لے کے اردو شاد ہوتے تھے بابا کا سر بھی روتا تھا اور ہم بھی روتے تھے بابا کا سر بھی روتا تھا اور ہم بھی روتے تھے عابد سے یہ وطن میں صلوات
Zishan Uncle, thank you so much for that beautiful recitation. For his sehet and salamti, please recite a loud salawat. Salli ala Muhammad. I would now like to request our dear brother Sajjad Zaidi to please come forward for recitation of Salam and Marcia. Salawat bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
ایک دفعہ اور درود پڑھیے محمد. ماشاء اللہ سیان بھائی. ایک ربائی مولا عباس کی شان میں آپ کی خدمت میں پیش کروں گا. پیام اعظمی صاحب کا کلام ہے جس میں انہوں نے مولا علی کی جو دعا تھی، ان کی جو خواہش تھی مولا عباس کے لیے، اس کو قلم بند کیا ہے. ایک دفعہ درود کا سہارا دیجیے محمد.
کون دے گا جان سبت مصطفیٰ کے واسطے، کون دے گا جان سبت مصطفیٰ کے واسطے. مرحلہ تھا یہ علی مرتضیٰ کے واسطے، مرحلہ تھا یہ علی مرتضیٰ کے واسطے. رکھ لیا البنی کہ لال نے حیدر کا دل، رکھ لیا البنی کہ لال نے حیدر کا دل بن گیا. مشکل کشا کے واسطے بن گیا. مشکل کشا کے واسطے. درود پڑھیے محمد والے محمد. ایک دفعہ اور درود کا سہارا دیجیے. اللہم پکاری رو کے سکینہ بڑا اندھیرا ہے، پکاری رو کے سکینہ بڑا اندھیرا ہے. یہ کیسی قید ہے بابا، یہ کیسی قید ہے بابا، بڑا اندھیرا ہے. پکاری رو کے سکینہ بڑا اندھیرا ہے. میں ایک کونے میں بیٹھی ہوئی ہوں، سہمی ہوئی. میں ایک کونے میں بیٹھی ہوئی ہوں، سہمی دکھائی کچھ نہیں دیتا، دکھائی کچھ نہیں دیتا. بڑا اندھیرا ہے. پکاری رو کے سکینہ بڑا اندھیرا ہے. اگر ہو آنا تو اصغر کو ساتھ مت لانا، اگر ہو آنا تو اصغر
ساتھ مت لانا، جہاں میں قید ہوں بابا، جہاں میں قید ہوں بابا، بڑا اندھیرا ہے، پکاری رو کے سکینہ، بڑا اندھیرا ہے۔ بہت تڑپتے تھے سجاد یہ صدا سن کر، بہت تڑپتے تھے سجاد یہ صدا سن کر، بہن بلاتی ہے بھیا، بہن بلاتی ہے بھیا، بڑا اندھیرا ہے، پکاری رو کے سکینہ، بڑا اندھیرا ہے۔ تماچے لگتے ہیں میرے جو ڈر کے روتی ہوں، تماچے لگتے ہیں میرے جو ڈر کے روتی ہوں، مگر میں کیا کروں بابا، مگر میں کیا کروں بابا، بڑا اندھیرا ہے، پکاری رو کے سکینہ، بڑا اندھیرا ہے۔ یہ کیسی قید ہے بابا، یہ کیسی قید ہے بابا، بڑا اندھیرا ہے، پکاری رو کے سکینہ، بڑا اندھیرا ہے۔ درود پڑھیے محمد والے محمد۔
Jazakallah, Sajjad Bhai, for that beautiful, heartfelt recitation. For Sajjad Bhai's Sehat and Salamati and Khair wa Barakat, please recite a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, I would now like to make some important community announcements. Number one, the Beit al-Ilm Mahdi Youth Group is hosting an Arba'een Art and Poetry Night on Friday, September 1st at 7 p.m. This event aims to honor the family of the Prophet through various mediums of expression, such as spoken word, visual art, and dramatic performances, just to name a few. If you or your child is interested in participating, please email outreach@baitalilm.org. Additionally, the youth group will be raising money for Who is Hussein with a bake sale. Please note that if you wish to participate in that specifically, please contact Sister Shizza Zahra. Number two, we have an ongoing ladies and girls Muharram Majalis every Saturday through September 23rd at 11 a.m. This is located here in the North Building. For details, please contact Sister Amira Ghadir. Third, the Beit al-Ilm Sunday School Arba'een Food Drive is underway. Once again, they are hosting their annual food drive. As we remember the thirst and hunger of the orphans of Karbala, let's use that as motivation to help those less fortunate in our own communities. Please drop off your non-perishable donations in the boxes near the main entrance. The last day for donations will be September 17th. Additionally, the administration has mentioned that they are looking for high school volunteers. If you would like to sign up, please contact Sister Fatima Dosani. And lastly, early announcement with regards to the Arba'een program. These will be held here at Baitul Ilm September 2nd through the 6th. And they will be led by Hujjatul Islam, Maulana Muslim Chawla. The timing of these majalis are still TBD, so as soon as we find out, we will update the community announcements. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I would now like to recognize our sponsors for tonight's program. For them and their respective families, their health, safety, and continued blessings, please recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The sponsors have requested that you remember your marhumeen as well as their marhumeen. Please join me in reciting a Surah Fatiha preceded by a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Once again, brothers and sisters, if you wouldn't mind, please checking your cell phones to make sure they are on mute or vibrate. And at this time, I would like to request Hujjatul Islam, Syed Hadi Yasin, to please come to the minbar at this time. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And brothers, if I can kindly request you to please move forward if you can, that'd be great. Thank you. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا يجعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. All together inshallah. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. May Allah inshallah accept all our prayers, our dua, our aza inshallah for Sayyid al-Shuhada. Recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great tawfiq and opportunity once again in Majalis of Sayyid al-Shuhada. We're sitting together. Indeed, we would not know the value of the Majalis of Ahlul Bayt and sitting in the Majalis of Sayyid al-Shuhada until it's too late. The hadith is telling us. You wouldn't understand the benefit of being Shia and followers of Ahlul Bayt. Imam says until your life is here, then you recognize. You're sitting here thinking that it's our decision to be here. Hadiths are telling the farsh and the carpet of Majlis of Hussein is the wing of Malaik. So there's some unseen for us. We don't see it, we don't get it. But inshallah we're here with the invitation of our Imam inshallah that it will help us to get closer and move forward to inshallah be among the best and the zinah and adornment for Ahlul Bayt. ببركة صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Throughout the history of human beings, many people came, big names, they tried their best to impact the life of other people, either in the local area or entire world. They did their best, whatever they could, good or bad. Many kings came, they tried their best, but one of their concerns was what to do so people after me would not forget about me or what I have done for other people. They hired people to engrave their names on rocks and mountains and pieces of woods and papers or whatever they had. I'm king so-and-so, son of so-and-so, I did such a thing, so people after themselves would not forgive them, right? We hear it. They excavate here and there, oh, this is the tablet from 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. And it's still people forget about them, don't know them, don't recognize them, right? And what happened, what they have done. Sayyid al-Shuhada, 1,400 years ago, close to that, he did not hire anyone to engrave his names on any piece of rock or anywhere. But indeed, Allah engraved his name on the hearts of the believers and mu'mineen. That is why, until today, no one forget about it. That his name is becoming more revealed to the entire world. You heard about it when Imam of our time, he will come. The first things that he introduces himself with is what? I am the son of Hussein. How many of you guys thought why he introduces himself by that? Why I'm not son of Imam Hassan Askari? Why not Imam Sadiq? Why not someone else? His mission is the most universal global mission, and he's the seal to all the Anbiya and Awliya and everything that has happened. He's the last wali of Allah, right? Why he's introducing himself by the name of Hussein? Because at that time, everyone on the earth would have heard about the name of Hussein. So when he says, I'm son of that person, everybody can, beside the believers, understand the connection, who he is from where. That's why today, the name of Imam Hussein is above and beyond the container of time and location. And no one can confide him for that specific time. Correct? But our job is not to sit down and glorify and talk and praise him. It's to learn lessons and see what he wanted for us and how we can change our lives. Therefore, we have to analyze what happened at that time. Why only 50 years after the demise of the Prophet of Islam, they slaughtered the son of him in the territory, the heart of the territory of Islam, and nothing changes. People are the same people. The companion are in the community, but things are the same. What happened? What kind of issue happened to that society, right? We're analyzing this together. We mentioned last night, and we mentioned that Sayyid al-Shuhada is not only one person standing in front of one person by the call Yazid Mal'un. Imam al-Hussein is the entire culture of Iman. He's the head of culture of Tawheed. Want to know, you're getting emotional saying it? No. This is what we got from it. When Rasulullah, he said, Husaynun minni wa ana min Husayn, we understand Hussein is from Rasulullah. Well, what does it mean I am from Hussein? Rasulullah, yeah, Hussein is his son. He's from me. But what do you mean he is from me? I am from him. That means we're the same. We're the same soul. Exactly the same mission. Yes, he's the seal of all messenger. No one is going to come after him. But the same mission, the same soul. That's the same thing that he said about Imam Hassan. قَوْلُهُ قَوْلِي وَفِعْلُهُ فِعْلِي. Whatever Hassan said is what Rasulullah says. Whatever he says, as if I'm saying. Whatever he does in order, it's the same thing. So we're the same. In the Ziyarat of Arba'een, inshaAllah, you recite. So, before that, so when you see that it's the same mission and the same process that Imam Hussein has, but on the other side also, Yazid, we mentioned, he's the head of what? The culture of Kufr. In the Ziyarat Arba'een, inshaAllah, we recite, بَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكَ لِيَسْتَنْغَذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ وَحَيَّرَةِ الضَّلَالَةِ. When it comes to introduce the mission of Sayyid al-Shuhada, it said he gave the muhjah. You know what is muhjah? It's part of musibah, let me tell you. Muhja in Arabic is the last piece of blood in the heart. Have you seen, you might have seen the heart of an animal or ship or something, right? The blood goes out, there's little blood stays in the heart. That last piece of the blood is muhja. وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ, even that last piece of his blood, he gave for the sake of Allah, for what? لِيَسْتَنْقَذَ إِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ, for the sake of waking the ibad from jahl and ignorance. وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَةِ, to help them to get out of that, confusion and darkness that they had in their lives. So when Imam al-Hussein is the head of Iman in front of the head of Kufr, that means you cannot confine him in that specific 61st of Hijri, 10th of Muharram in Karbala. He's above and beyond. That's what he said. مثلي لا يبايع بمثل يزيد. Someone like me, Hussein, like someone like me would not give bay'ah allegiance to who? To someone like that guy. That's eternal. It's forever. Right? And that goes on and on in the history, that whatever examples you can find. And the whole mission of Bani Umayyah was what? To bring that secular Islam to people. They wanted people, Muslim, to have secular life and religiosity. We promised each other last night, I'll talk about that time, you think about this time. Correct? We had a deal together. So when he says secular dindari and religiosity, bring your own version of religiosity and Islam to deen. Do whatever you want. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, these are the high top-notch ahadith. إن بني أمية أطلقوا تعليم الإيمان ولم يطلقوا تعليم الكفر. They let people learn about Iman. What is Iman? You want to pray? Bismillah. In masjid, 5 times, 6 times, 10 times. Fasting, 5 days instead of 1 day, right? وَلَمْ يُطْلَقُ تَعْلِيمَ الْكُفْرِ. But you're not supposed to learn what is kufr. Stay with the Iman. Don't learn about the strategies of the enemies. Because if you learn about kufr, you're going to understand a lot of things we're doing is kufr. You're going to learn about it. Stop people from there. Just let them be busy with their own version of religiosity. وَبَذَلِ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيك. He gave his life, the last piece of the life, that breath that he had, Imam al-Hussein, for the sake of what? Removing that jahl from people. This is the whole topic of the whole Ashra. Maybe we can talk about it. But I want to take this example. And I said that because of this. What was that jahl? Because I thought Rasulullah came and removed the jahl, right? Era of Jahiliyyah. What is the jahl and ignorance that Imam al-Hussein he's fighting with? And he gave his life for the sake of awakening people from their jahl. What is that jahl we're talking about? There are multiple tafasir, multiple reasons and factors I can tell you. It takes a long time. But tonight I want to tell you about something very special. You might have not heard so much about it. One of the most important issues of that time, was it salat? No, people were praying. Was it fasting? They were fasting. Jama'ah. Khums and zakat, they were paying. Jihad, Bismillah, we'll do the jihad. What's wrong with that society then? What kind of jahl we're talking about? What kind of ignorance we're talking about that Imam al-Hussein is giving? I'm trying to raise that question. You see, I'm making it longer because I want you to first find the answer. Whatever comes to your mind, right? So what is that jahl that Imam he's talking about, and he gave his life for the sake of removing that jahl? None of these things. We mentioned on one side Salat of Imam al-Hussein, on one side Salat Umar al-Sa'd, right? Masjid Kufa bi imamat of Ibn Ziyad, 5 times prayer, including the Fajr, we might not do it as well, right? Everything. And Ma'adhana, Allahu Akbar, everything. What's the difference here? Some scary part that if I want to tell you, they knew who is Sayyid al-Shuhada. Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah alayha, she comes in the last minutes. This is a very scary part of the tariq, I'm telling you, history. The last moments of the life of Imam al-Hussein in the Qatligah, she looks at Umar al-Sa'd And she says, Umar Sa'd, Yabna Sa'd, you're standing there and they're killing Hussein? That's very strange. She's telling the head of the enemies, the commander of the army of the Yazid, that you're standing there and they're attacking and killing Hussein. What does it mean? He knew he's Hussein. This is the scary part. When Ibn Ziyad told him, Umar said, I want you to be the commander of the army, do you think he said, oh yeah, I'm going to go for it? He said, I'm going to make you the governor of Ray, do it. He says, give me time. Wallahi, uha'iru fi amri. I have to think about it. I don't know, give me time to think about it. He knew that he has to choose between Jannah and Jahannam, right? So if they were doing all these things, they knew what's going on. If they were praying, they were doing all these things, right? They were Muslim, so call, right? What was wrong with them, and what is that jahl? One of the factors I want to tell you tonight, we're going to talk about it, they did not know themselves. What do you mean? They didn't recognize who they are. They didn't focus on themselves. They did not know who they are. They were just busy with some part of rituals and ibadah. They were happy just coming to masjid and praying. However, Shem had some asar of sujood, the sign of the sujood here. Ibn Muljam, he was one of the best of his tribe, helping Amir al-Mu'minin in some part of his life. They didn't know themselves. Did I bring that confusion? What do you mean by didn't know themselves? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let's go to the next page. He created insan, human beings, with different layers. We're the most important makhluk and creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, correct? The more professional the artist, the more complicated and more important is that masterpiece that he or she would have. That means you have to go to the layers, that masterpiece. The masterpiece of the khalaqat of Allah, He said Himself, is what? The insan. Look at the nature. When you look at the nature, you see scientists still take some stones and wood and something from the leaves, take them to the lab, analyze them, research them. What is it? Different layers of that, so and so, the water, right? A lot of research. I'm sure you agree with me, we're more complicated than the soil and the stone and something. Therefore, we have different layers that we need to recognize ourselves, and these layers in order to get to the concept of that. There's a famous hadith, many of you guys, you heard about it, but I don't know how much you thought about it. So any time as someone in the field of psychology, I think about it, I'm being so shocked. What is the depth of this hadith that says, "Man arafa nafsah faqad arafa rabbah." The one who recognizes himself or herself would recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do you mean? What is within me? I thought you mean recognize Quran. I thought you'd recognize some part of Islam. What is within me that if I recognize myself and those layers, indeed I recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أتزعم أنك جرم صغير وفيك انطوى العالم الأكبر. Hadith is saying, you think you're just a little creatures, nothing is within you? Within you is the whole universe. What is within me that I need to recognize? Don't forget about what I said. I brought you all the way from Kufa to this concept. Jahl that Imam al-Hussein, he's going to remove. Something happened to that society, that nasiha and advice and lectures, and nothing is going to awake people. Nothing is going to help them to be awakened. The only thing that helped them is the blood of Sayyid al-Shuhada, the best of all people. What is that jahl that is so thick that Imam al-Hussein, imagine on member, inshallah one day Imam al-Zaman sit down on this member, right? And he gives lecture, that nafas and the effect of his words will penetrate to the hearts of all believers, right? Imam al-Hussein, he's giving lectures in Karbala. It's not penetrating, it's not working. It's not the issue of Sayyid al-Shuhada. You throw a ball into the ocean, not a single drop of water goes to the ball because it's all closed. Then he said about it, why, مُلَأَتْ بُطُونُهُمْ مِنَ الْحَرَامِ and so on and so forth. So what is within me, I need to recognize it's something that is hidden. If it was not hidden, it was so obvious and everybody could get it, right? Something I need to go through these pages of my existence as the most important creatures and ashraful makhluqat to find myself. Something is within there that Sayyid al-Shuhada wanted to tell me. And this hadith is trying to tell me. Let me take you to the depth of that. A little bit academic, please ask you to bear with me. We have three different, needs and niyaz if you look at it. We're going to different layers of ourselves. Man arafa nafsa. We're going to recognize ourselves. If someone doesn't recognize himself and herself throughout the day, the danger is the destination of Ahlul Kufa. The first start and the first layer of the niyaz and need that we have is the physical, sexual, all this materialistic, animalistic, needs that we have. And you don't have to have any skills in order to recognize them. As soon as someone gets hungry, even a little baby, they react to it. As soon as you get thirsty, you look for water. That's it. It's very clear. It's not hidden, right? We understand it. The second, let's go to the next layer. The second level of need that we have psychologically is the needs towards emotional and towards, psychological need. You need to love someone. You need to get married. You need to receive love. You need to have children, right? The second categories of needs are more hidden than the first one, isn't it? Compared to I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, or muhabbat and love, which one is more hidden? The second one, right? Which is important that I recognize that this is a need I have and I need to pay attention to it. I need to be loved. And I need to show love. You see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let me give you this parenthesis here in parenthesis. How you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we grow up, we get to the point and to the age that we need to love, we need to get married. It's not just for the intimacy, it's the need, it's emotional need, psychological need. I need to show love to someone, right? In return, I have to receive love, someone reciprocate that love to me, and I need to receive it, right? And I need to talk about it, to say it, to express it. This is the need that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put inside me. Imagine you all love Sayyid al-Shuhada. Why don't you stay home and show your love to Sayyid al-Shuhada? Why do you get together? Why are you shouting the love? Why are you beating your chest for Sayyid al-Shuhada? Why 6 million people go to Arba'in of Sayyid al-Shuhada? Why? Just stay home. I need to express my love to Sayyid al-Shuhada. I want the entire world to understand my love to Sayyid al-Shuhada, right or not? I need to show it. I can't stand not coming to the Majalis and sit down at home to do it. I need to express it. Why? Again, al-kalam, yajur al-kalam. They ask Allama Amini, one of his friends, not Ahlul, from the Maktub Ahlul Bayt, why are you making Karbala and Ashura so big deal and a lot of noise and everything? He said, we didn't make so much noise about Qadir. You know what happened? They said, Rasulullah said so and so, right? We thought if we don't make a big deal out of the Ashura, you would say Imam Hussein was passing Karbala, he got fever and he passed away. So we want to make it and to show our love to Sayyid al-Shuhada as well. But let me bring it to our level life that we had. We mentioned we have to bring Ashura, kullu yawmin Ashura. We bring to our daily life. Every single aspect of my life is Karbala. I have to choose between right and left, haqq and batil, right? Am I expressing my love to my loved ones? Is this the component of that family that's supposed to be the most and the first and the most important, society that I'm raised and my children are going to be raised in? Am I showing it? Am I saying it? Do you express my love? Maulana, please kill me and don't say I have to express my love to my wife. This is one of those psychological things you read from books, right? Dr. Smith told you, so you'll bring it to us, right? I have to express my love to my wife or to my husband. I had a client came to me and said, Maulana, you tell my wife I love her. Kill me, I can't say it. My father is going to disown me if I say it. It's not in our culture. I said, our culture is not your culture. Our culture first is the culture of Islam and Ahlul Bayt, period. If any other part of my society is alongside with Islam and Ahlul Bayt and Quran, good. If not, فَضْرِبُوهَا لِلْجِدَى, throw it away. We're here for that reason. Are we here for cultural reasons? Is a symbol or for the sake of Islam? Yes or no? Let me hear from you. Yes or no? We're here for that. We're here, our culture become culture of Islam. Hadith from Imam al-Sadiq. I wish this type of things would be more spoken and said in this manabir and this pulpits. Imam al-Sadiq said, if you love your brother and sister in Islam, your friends, إذا أحببت رجلا, if you love a friend, a man, فأخبره, go tell your brother, tell your friend that I love you. You got the last one, right? If my friends, I need to express my emotion. You see the psychology in the Maktab of Ahlul Bayt and Islam, we have this. If I need to say I love you to my friends, I'm so proud to have you as my friend. فَأَخْبِرْهُ خَبَر, go tell him. Then how about my family? How about my loved ones? Which they are the most important one. In Islam, if you want to give sadaqah, if you want to give zakat, if you want to zakat fitra, first who do you have to go to? Mustahab? To your relatives, then to strangers. Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first one who he invited to Islam, who were they? أَنذِرْ أَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ, his own family. Rasulullah, you're discriminating against others? No, family first. Is it still Dr. Smith? No, it's the Maktab of Islam. Rasulullah, left and right, as soon as he sees his daughter Sayyidah Zahra salamu alayha, what does he say? I love you so much. Oh my God, I smell heaven from you. Oh my God, he bent down and kissed the hand of Zahra salamu alayha. You might think this is just because she is Sayyidah Zahra. I tell you, not only that, because he is showing and modeling the parenting in front of us. Imagine your marja taqlid right now, in TV you see that he bends down and he kissed the hands of his daughter. Oh my God, what's going on? Left and right, he's showing his emotion. He's talking about his emotion. Rasulullah, he's in the cave Hara for the sake of the Islam Risalat at the beginning, right? So you heard about this. 40 days he's away from everyone and the city and everything. He's going to receive the Risalat, the most important mission that a human being possibly could have. Risalat of Rasulullah, right? Seal of all messenger. In the middle of that 40 days, who was the contact that he had? Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the middle of this, he sent him, Ya Ali, go to the house of Khadija and tell her, by the way, the reason I'm not coming home is not a personal reason. There's an order from Allah. Rasulullah, come on. You're going to get the most important message from Allah. You're going to be the last messenger. What are you worried about? Let this 40 days passes, then you're going to go to her, even if you want to. Why so important? If he's not taking care of that, he's not going to become a prophet. Because he's a prophet, because ashhadu anna Muhammadan, no, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. First he's an abd, then he becomes a rasul. Because he's paying attention to this aspect, to this emotion, and people around him. And both men and women, I'm not talking to men, by the way, because I know when you go home, you say, the wives come and says, did you see what Maulana said? He's a psychologist, so pay attention to me, right? There's going to be a fight. The same on the other side as well. When your husband come home, show that respect, that passion. Oh, no, we're not used to it, my grandmama. This is generation to generation should be passed to our children. They shouldn't see love and affection in Hollywood movies or Bollywood movies, maybe mostly for some people, right? They should see within the house. This is Maktab of Islam. This is what we have to show. I'm telling you because I'm involved with the depth of the communities. They come and tell us something, we see that what is shaking and destroying the communities. Why children grow up and they might, my younger friends, hold your ears please, don't hear that. They go away from Islam, they don't want to be, because what? Because the model and example of Islam, it was me in the house. She doesn't want a hijab because it was me. Doesn't want to come to why? Because it was me, representative of Islam. He grew up, me and my wife, what is going to say? Is this Islam is going to be this way? I don't want it. I am the one who introducing Islam, right or not? Should I be more careful? What did we say last night? For those who were not here, we said the people of Kufa, they knew 20 years, 30 years before Karbala that the parenting is leading to provide and train and raise the killers of Imam al-Hussein. They would have been more careful in their parenting. I don't know. To me, Ashura is about all these discussions. We can sit here, brothers and sisters, keep talking about Alhamdulillah, MashaAllah, Subhanallah, we're so good. Imam al-Hussein so and so. but we don't want to be late. We should be ready. There's a reason we're sitting here. There's a reason generation to generation this majalis have been given to us. We're the flag bearers of Islam. We want it or we don't want it. This black clothing that you're all wearing, these are the flags. We're wearing these flags. There's a message and wisdom behind it. How many blood of shuhada in the history of Islam up until today is on our shoulders. We're passing it to next generation. Our last generation, alhamdulillah, they raised us, however, with the muhabbat of Sayyid al-Shuhada in Islam, right? It's now our life. It's now how to do it. And I need to pay attention to that household, how I am taking care of that. This should be based on Islam. The house should be what Surah Rum is talking about it. I created you and put muhabbat, love and muhabbat. لَتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. So you have sukna, sukunat, tranquility and peace in that household. So my household should be this way. Not that as soon as, and that affects my ibadah, that I want to say Rabbana atina, oh my God, after that I have to go fight with someone in the house. So the second, let's not get lost. We said how many levels of needs? Number one, physical, whatever is. The second one, which is more hidden, is what? Those psychological, emotional. The third one, we're talking about the jahl that Imam Hussein removed, is spiritual and ilahi needs. That is the most hidden that I have to find. The more valuable, the more hidden. I need to go through it and I need to understand, I need spirituality. I need religiosity. This is my need. And people have issue and make mistakes here. You cannot take care of the need of your soul with material. Not the same material. It should be different. You cannot take care of your ruhi, psychology in Arabic, we call it ilmun nafs. You cannot take care of your ruh and soul with drug. Yes, it might make you high, but it will put you so hard down. It should be the same material, and that's ilahi in a spiritual way. That was people of that time, they didn't pay attention to themselves, who they are. And that's the most hidden part. Let me tell you what. I said Islam and spirituality should be, we should feel that we need that. Not that we have to do it. If you look at the marketing in the world right now, before they sell any product, what would they do it? Make it a need of a person, a customer, then the customer would run after them. Before they sell it. They make it any, imagine there's a TV advertisement, they're advertising a knife, for example, right? And we're watching it, or your wife is watching it. The way that psychology is behind this, the way they're presenting it, you look like, how we're cooking so far without this knife? How did I even chop anything so far without this knife? I need it right now. And they put some timers as well. Let's go order it. They make it a need, then you run after them. What we need to feel in Islam is that I need to pray 5 times a day. You have to go to people who don't pray, like literally strangely look at them and says, how can you survive without praying? You want the example? You go to someone who's not drinking water or anything. How can you survive without drinking water? In Ramadan they come ask you, right? How can you survive without eating? We have to go to people. The same need. How can you survive not praying? That's more strange. When my son and my daughter are going to go to a college, which I'm talking to them and to parents both, I might say, that job, that school, oh my God, amazing, beautiful. It's the top-notch school, it's very famous, and so. The graduation, beautiful, make sure you get a good job. What was the last one I said, son, you want to choose that school? Is there any masjid close by? Is there any halal restaurant or somewhere that you can get the meat from it? We are prioritizing for our children. This is their job as well, but we are prioritizing them. The need to create that need within us, within ourselves. And I want to go to your level. I said to pray. How can you go to a higher level? How can you hear the voice of azan awwal waqt, the beginning of the time, and you don't go pray? I don't know how you can survive. Some people don't get it. You know why? Because this is the most hidden part. Bear with me because the end of my lecture is the most important message that I want to give based on what I'm talking about. I need to pay attention. And guess what? Based on the need that you create for yourself, your behavior will change. Let me ask you a question. God forbid, if you see a drug addict and you ask a drug addict, do you want to choose between drinking a water and food, or you want to get substance? Which one he would choose? Why? Is this the primary need for him? No. He will make something that is not a primary need to become a fake primary need. Then he would choose the primary need, the fake need over. If I make dunya so big of a deal for myself, if my physical needs are so obvious, if psychological needs are so obvious, and I'm so busy with them, of course I will prioritize them over the other primary need that I have, spirituality. This is how they do. Khuli, when they had the head of Syed Hadi, and he came to the palace of Ibn Ziyad, you know what he said? I came to you with the price of the whole universe. This Mal'un, he knew who is Hussein. Ibn Ziyad said, Mal'un, if you know who he is and you talk about his mother and his father, then why did you kill him? They knew who is Syed Shuhada. What they forgot to pay attention to themselves, to analyze that self-reflection, all aspects of life. What's going on in my life, in my religiosity, in my deen? And you know what today doesn't let you do that? As soon as you want to have a time for self-reflection, this doesn't allow you. Have you seen? When you're going to go sit somewhere, you sit somewhere, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The first thing you do, Alhamdulillah, he's still alive, MashaAllah. Put it back. So, subconsciously, without even wanting to do it, don't you do it? 74%, Alhamdulillah, it's still alive. If it goes 15%, oh my God. If one day you go out of the house without your phone, Ya Allah, I can't live. You see how we make ourselves dependent on something? I'm not against it, I have it as well, right? The smartphone too. Because they made it my need. Now I cannot live without it. A few years ago, let me give you a personal story. A few years ago, I was in I had a phone, iPhone at that time. Let's advertise it as well. So something happened with it, and I had to go to a store to fix it. I went there 7, 8 a.m. I said, Alhamdulillah, no one is going to be that time. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to go to work. There was a big line in front of it. What's going on? My luck was that the same day they released a new version of the iPhone. And I said, I'm not here to buy anything. I'm here to what? Just fix my phone. They said, no, you got to stay in the line. Oh, I don't want it. I just want to fix my phone. Stay in the line. Long story short, after half an hour when I got in front of the line, I bought the new phone. They convinced me. Now I understand why they wanted me to stay in the line. And since then, I promised myself not to be fooled anymore. If I need it, I'll go for it. If I don't need it, I won't go for it. I want to make the needs based on my primary needs. My primary needs that I have to have, right? My children, I need to pay attention to their primary needs. As much as I'm so careful with their need of healthy food, oh my God, the doctors, pediatricians said this and that, and if I want to give them a juice, I'll look at the ingredients and everything. Am I more careful with the school they go to? Am I more careful with what kind of friends they have? I don't know, if you're in a neighborhood, so nice people, everybody's great. We're not talking about the nice people, not nice people. We're talking about the need of them to be in Islamic school. Alhamdulillah, you have Islamic school around. It's your wazifa and responsibility, know or not know what's going on outside, to take care of that. It's our responsibility to make it, this is your need. This is very important for you, You have to pay attention to this. I can't live without, that religiosity and that aspects that might lead to something else. And every single mistake and haram someone commits, they make that need of a spirituality more hidden and more hidden and more hidden. I told you the last part and page of my lecture is going to be the most important one. I said among the needs that we have is the need to love someone and to receive love, right? Remember? Yes? Those who remember say yes. Alhamdulillah, everybody is remember. Do you think I just said about love towards your wife and husband and children? Is this the most important love? Or we have couples go against each other? Or we have children go against their parents and opposite as well? The love should be a worthy, different type of love as well. That's different, important as well, but the love should be different. The love that comes from the most important people. Imagine someone who has a friend who has some official position, whatever is this, right? A mayor, a president, is gonna go everywhere. I'm the friend of that person, by the way. He loves me so much, and I love him so. We're so good with each other. He's so proud. The most important love that we should show is love to the wali of Allah. And the most important love we need to receive is to feel that wali of Allah loves us back as well. That important person, that connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loves me. You come here for what? Show your love to Sayyid al-Shuhada. You come here to show your love to Sayyid Zahra sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And you want that love to reciprocate comes back to you. Let me tell you a story. Sayyid ibn Abdullah Hanafi. He's one of those who stood in front of Imam al-Hussein for salat. When they were attacking, he was taking the arrows. This is one of the most touching stories in Karbala I know. Among the Ashab of Rasul, Imam Hussein. So Imam al-Hussein, he's standing, he's praying, and he's standing. By the time that the 2 rakat salat al-khawf of Imam al-Hussein finished, he fell down, and his body was full of arrows. Okay? So he fell down, Sayyid al-Shuhada comes, grab his head. I want you to picture it. We could talk about art, right? I'm narrating, you picture it. He picked his head, put it in his lap. Good for you, Sayyid. Good for you, right? Is it possible in the last moment of my life, in the lap of Imam Zaman of my time? He put his lap. If I was there and Sayyid, maybe I would say, Ya Hussein, did you see? I told you I'm going to help you, and I did, right? Something like that. Bring the camera on the face of Sayyid and on the face of Hussein. He said, Ya ibn Rasulullah, awafaitu ya ibn Rasulullah. Was I loyal to you? In any love, in the history and love story, you cannot find that. In any epic story, you cannot find that your body is full of arrows, and you look at him and says, was I loyal to you? You see the level of love and affection here? You can't interpret that with anything except in the concept and context of Karbala and Hussein. Now we understand the 72 people, what does it mean? Imam Hussein look at him and says, so he's showing his love, right? What are we talking about? He's showing love to Wali of Allah, and look what he's receiving. Na'am wa anta amami fil Jannah. Yes, you do. You were loyal to me, and you're going to be with me in front of me in Jannah. I'm done, Hussein. I'm done. That's it. The Ghulam of Sayyid al-Shuhada, he's older than Habib. The Imam says, you're not supposed to be with us this far. You're done. Go. You're free for the sake of Allah. Go. The most important wish of a slave is what? To be free. He started crying. He's an old guy. Started crying. Hussein, where am I supposed to go? Let me stay. Go. No, I don't want to. I want to stay with you. You see that love story we're talking about? Show the love and receive the love. Imam Hussein said, if you want to go. What do you think brought Habib, 70-something-year-old, to Karbala? The only thing that brought him, he was stuck in Kufa. The gates were all closed. As soon as he received the letter of Imam al-Hussein, Habib, the letter of Imam al-Hussein to Habib was very short. Habib, I am in Karbala. Khalas. Now Habib cannot stay. When there's a love, there's affection. There's connection. He doesn't understand the gates are closed. Nothing, he cannot go, the guards are there, he has to go to Karbala. That's the love we're talking about to the Imam of our time. Is it possible that I live throughout the day and I don't remember Imam of my time? I don't know how can someone survive. I don't know if you know the answer. I think it's impossible. There was a young guy, every day before he goes to work, he was standing behind the door of House of Amir and said, Assalamu alaikum ya Ali Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, why you're doing this? I just love, I have to, I can't go to work without it. How is it even possible? Well, no, what do you mean if it's... Let me bring a text from dua. Dua faraj, the actual dua faraj that we recite, right? What do we say? Bismillah ar-Rahman. Allahumma ilahi azum al-bala. Look at the translation. Ilahi azum al-bala. Wa bariha al-khafa. Wa nkashafa al-ghita. Oh Allah! The bala and musibah is so big. Bring it out of the context of the ziyarat and the dua faraj. See, what do you... Ilahi ya Allah, the bala is so big. وَبَرِهَ الْخَفَى. That musibah that was hidden, we're talking about hidden things, right? Became so obvious in front of everyone. وَانْقَتَعَ الرَّجَاء. There's no umid, there's no hope anymore. Ya Allah, what's going on? وَضَاقَتِ الْأَرْضُ وَمُنَعَتِ السَّمَاء. Everything, the sky and the earth, there's no barakat from them. Ya Allah, what's happening? Any disasters, natural disasters, earthquakes, something happening? No, I don't have my Imam with me. I can't live. إلهي إليك أشكو فقد نبينا وغيبة ولينا. I'm complaining to you, Allah, because I don't have my Nabi and my Wali is in ghaybat. I can't live like this. See, when there is a need, how am I supposed to live like that? There is a need. Sayyid al-Shuhada, he gave his life for the sake of awakening people to know themselves. I need to do that. They asked Ayatollah Bahjar, what is the best way that I can have tawajjuh and attention in salat? He says, before you start into salat, have tawassul to Imam of your time. Then attention will come to you. I need to create that household. I need to create my children the way that throughout the day. Imagine, let me give you an example. I'll finish very quickly. Imagine, they tell you the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen is few steps away here. And you go to work every day without going to the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Can you even imagine it? Impossible. Is it about that house over there? It's about the intention. It's about knowing that they are here. My Imam of Asr is within. Hadith is saying, يَتَعَوْ فُرُوشَهُمْ وَيَمْشِي فِي أَسْوَاقِهِمْ. He's among you. He comes to do a majalis. That's why we're very careful in our majalis, how we do, how we sit, how we act, because the Imam of our time can come to majalis. That's how we show love. The summary of Muharram and Safar should be ma'rifah to Imam of our time. The need and the love that we have to do. Alhamdulillah. Yabna Rasulullah, Ya Sayyid al-Shuhada. More than 1 month, these brothers and sisters came. They're showing their love to you. We might not have been in Karbala to show our love to you. This is the least that we can do. We're coming, we're showing you our love. Ya Hussein, we are taking some steps. We know we promise, we know we ask you, we know we said we're gonna be different. Obviously, I'm talking about myself. Obviously, we can't. We break the promises. We need you to come and take our hands. We need you to pray for us, Ya Hussein. The Wali of Allah also loves a lot of things as well. One of the things that Wali of Allah loves the most, of course, after Allah and everyone, he has the emotion as well. And he loves his children too. I don't know what part of Karbala should I narrate for you. It's all about the love and affection in Karbala. When Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam, in the last moments No one is there. He looked around. He see no one is alive. But he sees and he hears the voice of his 6-month-old Aliya Asghar from the tent. Zainab John, I told you, what there is so noise, so much there. Different narration, I'm putting some together. Hussein John, as soon as you said, Hal min nasirin yansuruni, the cradle of Aliya Asghar started moving, meaning that, oh Father, I still have one, you still have one more soldier left for you. You're not all alone, there's one more little man left in the campaign for you too. Hussein said, what, you know, when a child is crying, if it's in the Majalis around women, they pass the child to each other. Maybe someone can calm him down. No one could calm him down. 3 days, this little child and the baby of Hussein didn't drink any water. The mother doesn't have a milk at all to give him. Allah knows how he's feeling. Imam al-Hussein said, give it to me. I'm going to go bring some water. Allahu Akbar, it's so difficult for a father. He promises something and he cannot fulfill that. He grabbed Aliya Asghar. Close your eyes. I narrate, you picture it, please. Let's go to Karbala. He had Aliya Asghar in his hands in front of the army of Umar al-Sad. Give me some water so I can give to him. He's dying. He waited a little bit, no one is responding. I know you don't trust me. You think I want the water for myself. Come and get him. Go give him some water and bring him back to me. My question to you, especially my daughter, my sisters, how much water a 6-month-old baby would drink? Shem look at Harmala. Harmala look at Shem. Oh, Harmala asked Shem, should I hit the father or the son? Shem said something very correctly. He said, hit the son, the father would die after him. And my second question to you, how big is the neck of a 6-month-old baby? And an arrow with 3 heads that was used for animals. Allahu Akbar, as soon as it hit the neck of Aliya Asghar, from udhun to udhun, from ear to ear, it ripped Hussein is grabbing the blood, throwing to sky. Allahumma taqabbal minna, accept it from us. You think this is the musibat? No. Now Hussein, he has to go back towards the Qiyam. Now he sees maybe Rabab and Zainab in front of the door of Khayma. How can I go? Few steps toward Khayma, few steps back. Oh, this is the whole honor of Hussein. I promise Rabab, I will bring the son all healthy. Imam went behind the tent. They asked the army of Yazid, was there any moment you were feeling sorry for Hussein? They said, this moment. Hussein was wandering between the Qiyam and the Qatligah. He went behind the tent, dig the ground to put Aliya Asghar in the ground. All of a sudden heard the voice of his mother, Mahlan Mahla Yabna Zahra. Hussein, wait, let me see him one more time. I always say, inshallah, the way that Hussein hold Aliya Asghar, inshallah his mother didn't see his neck. Inshallah that 3-year-old daughter of Hussein didn't see the neck of her brother Aliya Asghar. How difficult for Hussein. Allahu Akbar. The angels are complaining to Allah. We cannot tolerate this anymore, Ya Allah. At night of Ashura, Hilal ibn Nafi' mentioned, I saw Hussein, he's bending down on the ground and he's picking something. I asked, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, what are you doing? He said, Hilal, I'm picking some of these thorns, some of these stones and rocks, because tomorrow my children will be running over this desert. Allahu Akbar. When Hussein fell down from the horse, they mentioned with the corner of his eyes, he is looking at the Qiyam. I'm still alive, do not attack my Qiyam. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. What did you do to the hearts of disbelievers? وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. All together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين. One more time inshallah for hajat. When you say Assalamu ala awlad al-Hussein, see Ali Ashqar of Hussein. See yourself in Bain al-Haramain, on one side Haram of Hussein, on one side Haram of Abbas. I don't know how many of you guys you're going for Arbaeen. Ya Hussein, there's some people here, they wish to come to Karbala tonight. Ya Hussein, sign the visa of Karbala. Assalamu ala, raise your voice, Bismillah. Wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn ala la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimin. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد في دعاء إن شاء الله loud آمين. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناصر ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. بحق الحسين, hasten the zuhur of our son Imam Mahdi. Us and our generation, let us be among the best of his followers. Do not make any enemy from our generation against the path of the Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, those who have hajat and requests, my respected brothers and sisters, give them khair hajat. Those who are under difficulties, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, those who are sick, bimar Karbala, cure them all at this moment. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gathering to their souls. Maulana Hussein.
Hussein, Ya 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 Hussein,
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal, hayya ala khairil amal. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. قبر असग़र की बनाने में बहुत देर लगी. दो बंद शहदाद हज़रत असग़री के मसाइब के सुन ले, फिर उसके बाद पुरसा करेंगे करबला वालों को इंशाअल्लाह. कब्र असग़र की बनाने में بہت دیر لگی شہ کو ایک چاند چھپانے میں بہت دیر لگی ہے قبر اصغر کی بنانے میں بہت دیر لگی ماں نے پوچھا میرے اصغر کو کہاں چھوڑا ماں نے پوچھا میرے اصغر کو کہاں چھوڑا شہ کو یہ بات بتانے میں بہت دیر لگی قبر اصغر کی بنانے میں بہت دیر لگی کچھ قدم دور ہے بازار سے دربار مگر کچھ قدم دور ہے بازار سے دربار مگر پھر بھی شہزادی کو آنے میں بہت دیر لگی ہے قبر اصغر کی بنانے میں بہت دیر لگی یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین اماں فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اور کیسا ہے یہ چراغ دل ڈوبے جا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اماں فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اماں فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں کیسا ہے یہ چراغ دل ڈوبے جا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اماں فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اتنا چلے ہیں پیدل سار قیدی تھک جاتی چلتے چلتے ہے چلتی اگر زمین بھی پیروں کے آبلے بھی آنسو بہا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا ہے اما فضا ہیں لوگ کس طرح کے ہم سے دعا کرائیں اے قیدیوں دعا دو یہ دن نہ ہم پہ آئے لے کر دعائیں ہم سے دل بھی دکھا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا ہے اما فضا پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں نیزے پہ رو رہا ہے مشکل کشا کا بیٹا نامحرموں کے لب پر آیا جو نام میرا مجھ کو کنیز زادے یوں بھی رلا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا ہے اما فضا ماں کی گودیوں سے لپٹے ہوئے ہیں بچے ہیں ہاتھ رسیوں میں ماں کے ایسے جکڑے بچے جو گر رہے ہیں وہ مرتے جا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو ہے پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں نیزے پہ جتنے سر ہیں ایک سر ہے ان میں ایسا آنکھیں ہیں بند اس کی اور خاک پر ہے گرتا عباس کا یہ سر ہے تیور بتا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو ہے پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں کیسا ہے یہ چراغا دل ڈوبے جا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا ہے پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Syed, Ya Syed, 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 Syed.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يعصوب الدين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المظلوم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى 9 المعصومين من ظل الحسين. صلى الله عليك يا صاحب الزمان يا إمام الإنس والجان يا شريك القرآن. الأمان الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوات.